Come on in, everyone. Come on in because we are here to review Married at First Sight season 17. Are we on season 17, episode 23? It feels like 23 years, not 23 episodes. It really literally feels like 23 years. And can you guys believe that we are now still filming? The crew, all these couples are still filming 21 days after they said no on decision day. That's a long time. I was wondering how they were going to weave in this storyline with Michael and Chloe with people who had already said no. And now we know what they decided to do, and it was a bad idea. It was a bad idea. They would have been better off cutting it off and then like coming back, I don't know, the next episode and just saying, you know how they do in the movies and they go, after 10 years, this... They should have said after 3 weeks, we're now at decision day for Michael and Chloe, because we didn't need to see their journey to decision day. We already knew. Once she started talking about them 5 foster kids and the farm, we already knew the decision. And 21 days of these people still filming together after decision day, it really is kind of torture. It's kind of torture for them and torture for us. And we see that in this episode, Lauren broke down. She had a complete meltdown and just couldn't handle no more. But I don't know. I mean, they do it to themselves. They really do it to themselves. So I don't know. I'm going to talk a little bit about the regular episode and I'm going to talk a little bit about the after party. But was anybody surprised by Michael's answer? I wasn't. And when he said no, Chloe smiled through the whole thing. Why does Chloe have that kind of permanent smile? It doesn't matter what she's saying. It's like, yeah, I understand. Yeah, I understand that you're saying no. I understand you got to choose yourself. And I'm just like, that's so weird that she smiles through the whole entire time he was saying no. Maybe it's an awkward smile. Maybe that's what it is. I think it's more of an awkward smile than like she really finds it. She finds it funny. I don't think that she finds it funny. But I'm reading my notes because it was so boring, y'all. I have to read my notes to figure out what happened because I was falling asleep. I'm not going to lie. I was falling asleep on this episode. It was like watching paint dry, and I was suffering through it. But I know I wrote down this line where Michael said he's not built for marriage. I don't believe it. I think it was just the wrong woman. I don't understand. I think Michael, I mean, you tell me this, Michael. My tongue is getting all tied up. Tell me this. You got dumped at the altar. You even went back a second time, a second helping, a second dip. And now you tell us after the second person you're not built for marriage. Yeah. I guess he just didn't want to say anything wrong to Chloe or say that's really what he didn't like. I know he said it in a different way, saying, I'm afraid of this, not this. I'm not afraid of kids. But to be honest with you, I don't think he wanted even a lesser version of that. Even when he said, yeah, I'm not for 5 kids, but I don't have a problem with adoption, but I don't want to adopt 5 kids. I'm not opposed to a farm, but I don't want 200 farm. Be honest with you, I think the real answer, which he probably couldn't say because maybe he feels is politically correct, not politically correct, is that he doesn't want to adopt any kids at all. That's really what he wanted to say. He was actually saying, I don't even want a lesser version of your dream, Chloe, because when they got to the decision day, they tried to tell Chloe, Dr. Pepper was saying sometimes a dream feels like a demand, but it's just a dream. But I think Michael really got into it and realized, I don't even want a farm. Michael likes high fashion. He likes, probably living in the city. He likes doing eclectic things. I don't even think he likes anywhere near where a farm would be. So it isn't even about the number of goats or number of farm animals. He don't want a farm. He may want to visit a farm. He may want to go once or twice a year, but he doesn't want to own a farm and run a farm. He doesn't want any part of that dream. And I think that's the same thing with the foster children. It's not that he doesn't want 5 children, but I'll take 2. No, he doesn't want any at all. He already said if he doesn't have kids, he's fine. So if he's saying he doesn't care if he doesn't have kids, he's not saying I don't care if I have kids of my own, but I still want children. He's saying I'm okay not having any children at all. And now Chloe wants to give him 5 foster children. So the part of me that is disappointed in Michael is that he never really had that real truthful conversation with Chloe. I think we all figured it out. We all know what it is. But I wish he would have just had that real frank conversation and saying, you know what? And maybe they did behind closed doors and really said it up front. Hey, I really don't want to adopt. Like real conversation. I really don't want to adopt. I'm not interested in that as a pathway to have children. Either I would have children on my, with my spouse, or I don't want any at all. So I don't think that real conversation happened. And I don't think a real conversation happened with Chloe either. We were hoping for something different with this couple, because all the other couples were so fake. But honestly, there is a version of fakeness between Michael and Chloe too. Is it to the level of the other couples? No, it's not to the level of deception and lies and liars and manipulation. It's not that level, but it is a level of untruthfulness. So I'll be honest with you, although I like Michael, I really can't say that this season there was any real truthful or real couple. I really don't. I think all the couples played to the camera. I think all the couples held things that they believed and what they want to say, and they didn't do it for the camera. I don't think any couple on here was authentic. And at first I was holding out that Michael would be authentic, but the more that I think about it, he's not either. I mean, of all the people, I understand him the most. I understand maybe why he wasn't. I don't have any level of disgust about him. But if I have to put him in a truthful or non-truthful bucket, I would have to say that he was truthful up until a point in the season. And then after that, he kind of took the playbook of the men. He kind of once he realized he didn't want Chloe, he then took to the part of, let me just protect my image. And that's what a lot of the men did. A lot of the men didn't like their wives from the very beginning. I said that. And then what their game plan was, that's the one thing the ladies got right. The men did have a game plan. They talked, Becca talks about it. Emily talks about it. I saw it. If any of you watched me all season, I knew it was a game plan from the very beginning. I said it was HR. And you want to go back to my HR video. And right now, Michael's in HR. Michael is in HR. He's doing the exact same thing. He doesn't want to talk about anything that Chloe's talking about because he doesn't want to step on any toes. Definitely a lot of politically correct conversations this season in Married at First Sight. And so it didn't make good reality TV. It really did make good reality TV. So, and Emily's going on. Emily's still bitter, angry. Boy, y'all should have seen her on the after party. She sure acted up on the after party again. Emily cannot contain her anger. And think about it. We're 21 days past the wedding, the decision day, and Emily's still running around complaining about why Brennan's not showing up. So she hated the man. He treated her horribly. Okay. He did her dirty. There's all the things that Brennan did. Supposedly everyone's talking about Brennan cheated on her on IG and all this. And, but she's still talking about why didn't he show up? Why does he need to show up? You should be happy he doesn't show up. Why would you want him in your space? But guess what, y'all? I can't remember. Was this bomb dropped on the regular episode or the after party? Here's the bomb. I should have made it my thumbnail. Here's the bomb. When we were talking about who Brennan was texting back and forth on the after party, Emily admits that the girl that Brennan was texting back and forth when they were sitting in the hot tub, they were all in a hot tub and Brennan was texting back and forth the woman. Guess who the woman was that Brennan was texting back and forth to? I give you 1 second. It was Claire's friend. Claire's friend. Hear that? Not her sister, her friend. So once again, here is Claire in the middle of a breakup. So Claire said, if I can't break you up, I'm going to bring in reinforcements. So Claire's friend is communicating with Brennan while Brennan is still married to Emily, texting back and forth. But Emily's heat is for Brennan, only for Brennan. But she don't have no heat for Claire. So let me get this right, Emily. Your friend Emily, your bestie, the one you ride and die for, the one you wearing pink for every single week, solidarity. That friend of yours has another friend of hers. Start texting and communicating with your husband, and you don't have no heat for Claire saying, first of all, you need to check your friend. If you my friend, you better check that other friend. This is just, it's all just so weird to me what these women do. Even this meltdown with Lauren with Orion, it's beyond exhausting and irritating. I'm now getting to the point of saying, really, what's wrong with these women and their need to prove that they're good people, beautiful women or whatever? All this wearing pink is another way to bring attention to them. There's solidarity. I'm worthy. My thumbnail talks about this sexy photo shoot. Was it a good idea? Do y'all think it was a good idea? I don't. And I'm going to tell you why I don't think it's a good idea. Not because I don't think sexy boudoir photos are good ideas. I think they're fun to do. I've done them. I've done several of them with my girlfriends. We've gone out. We've done them. I've done some on my own. I think they're fun. I think, a woman should experience one. But in the context of what's going on with these women, I think it was a horrible idea, because actually what it was more of what the problem is with these women. Their constant need to prove that they're sexy and desirable. I get that they didn't feel sexy and desirable by their husbands, but the way to go about proving that they are is not doing a sexy photo shoot on national TV. It was cringeworthy. I cringed over it. I cringed. And this goes back to what I was saying that bothered me about even Lauren from the very beginning. This need to always be the good person, the need to always be perfect. Did you hear Emily when Emily was talking about Lauren, saying, oh, Lauren is so sweet. She's always giving me books I don't think I didn't even know I needed. That's like low-key shade. That's the story of a person, Lauren, who gives things to people when people don't really want them. Like she keeps saying, I'm trying to give Orion friendship what he said he wanted. But then you're mad at me. He doesn't really want your friendship, Lauren. He's just saying that. He's lying. He's a liar. He's saying it for the camera in order to look good, to look politically correct, to look like HR. And then what you're doing is you're trying to say, well, I'm just trying to give you the friendship that you need. Why? Why is there a need for you to look so good, Lauren, all the time? To look good in front of the women, to look good in front of the camera, to come out as this woman that always knows the right things to say, the right things to do. Everything about Lauren is about, she makes it pretend like it's about other people, but it really is about her. It's about her. It's about her proving that she's so good and she has all the answers. Like I said before, that she's so woke. I wouldn't accept a gift from Lauren, because really accepting a gift for Lauren is feeding her. I would say, no, I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want your gift. And that's what Orion should have done. In fact, she should stop trying to give gifts to people who don't want gifts. And this photo shoot, the reason why I didn't like the photo shoot, because it was more of what the women were doing all season. Becca, the man didn't want you. He didn't find you desirable. He didn't want to be with you. He didn't want to sleep with you. But now you guys want to do a sexy photo shoot. For what? For them to see? So these men rejected you all season long, and you decide to do a sexy photo shoot to parade your half-naked bodies in front of a bunch of men that have already rejected you. This is just such desperateness. And I want to say why. And I know someone's going to say, oh, well, they didn't do it for them. They did it for themselves. Well, then do it for yourself behind closed door, out from away from the cameras, because we've seen enough of it in front of the camera. This is what I'm saying. That's why I keep saying I don't have a problem with them doing a sexy photo shoot. I have a problem with them doing it in front of the camera for those men to see again, for those men to then look at them in that sexy photo and shoot and say, yeah, I still don't like you. Why? Why would you keep subjecting yourself to this? This is what I don't understand. This is why I don't understand it didn't click in any one of these women's minds to say, no, I've already been rejected by this man for 8 weeks straight. Why the hell would I want to do another photo shoot to expose my body to these men even more, for them to see, partake in, for even more rejection? No, if it's about you building your self-esteem and you making yourself feel beautiful, I'm all for that. Then why does it need to be in front of the camera? Why does it need to be for those men? You know, they keep saying there was this agenda and they were doing all the work. You're still doing all the work. You're still parading around half naked for these men. And you could say it's not for the men, but yeah, it is. It's almost like you're trying to make them believe, look what you missed. I'm a fabulous woman. It's still the same old game plan, and it's tiring, it's exhausting, it's irritating, it's sad, and it's cringy. You still have women complaining that these men ain't showing up to no events 3 weeks, 21 days after they said, no, I don't want to be married to you. They said they don't want to be married to you for 8 weeks straight. And Emily's over here yelling and screaming and mad because Brennan didn't show up, and it just proves what he thinks of this marriage. No, he done prove what he thought of it. He proved it long time ago. He don't need to keep proving it. We got it, Emily. Why don't you get it? Why do you still want him showing up? Even this whole cheating with the Australian, Emily goes on the after party saying, yeah, sure, I didn't really cheat. And we're like, well, wait a minute, didn't you kiss the Australian? Yeah, I kissed the Australian. But in her mind, it's not cheating because what she was trying to do was prove to herself she's kissable. So because her husband didn't want to kiss her, because her husband didn't want to have sex with her, she says, I'm going to prove I'm beautiful, and therefore I'm going to go out and kiss this Australian. Well, you actually made yourself look worse. Worse. Why do you respond with rejection with something that makes yourself look worse? And I feel like this sexy photo shoot made them look worse. Their response to being rejected by the men was to now do a public photo shoot to show their bodies, all their insecurities, as they say, highlight the part. I get it intuitively what they were doing. I just don't think they should have done it for the camera. I just don't think they should have done it for all these men to see and to further have any thoughts in their head of rejection. I would not have given those men the opportunity to even reject me in their mind, because once they see this photo shoot, what you think those men are going to say? Yeah, I made the right choice saying no. You think all of a sudden they're going to accept you and flower you with attention and words? It was just a bad idea. It was a bad idea to do it publicly. Let me say that. If a woman wants to do that privately, like I said, I've done several, so I don't have a problem with them. But I don't think that they should have done it public, because I think it was more public humiliation. I know they didn't feel humiliated, but I just thought it was a horrible, horrible idea. And then you had Lauren over here and Orion checking her and talking about, I guess you counting the days between when I respond to a text, and he over here continuously lying, talking about I'm kind of come up with a good answer. But Lauren is in this double talk. I don't want to be friends with you. I'm setting boundaries. But then again, I'm counting the number of days before you responded to my text. Girl, where are their friends to come get them? Where are their friends to come and get them? On the after party, Emily and Keisha and I got into it again. Because Emily was complaining that Cameron didn't show up for old girl either, Claire. And she said, I don't know why Cameron didn't show up to that last little thing that they had. He should have showed up. Once again, expecting people to show up. Some people, when they get divorced, they never talk to their exes, period, point blank. They don't see them. They don't talk to them. So Keisha and I said, well, that was the week that Cameron had his heart surgery. So maybe it wasn't a good for him to show up since he had heart surgery. And Emily said, I don't care. He could have still showed up. I showed up after I had my accident and my surgeries. Emily going to come up with something negative to say. She don't care if you had heart surgery or not. She going to come up with something. And Keisha and I tried to chat. Keisha and I don't like Emily. Emily right about that. That does she feel like Keisha and I doesn't like her? Yep, you right. Keisha and I don't like you because you mean and you nasty. Don't nobody like you. But all episode long in the after party, Emily was like, I feel free as a bird. All her little snide remarks. And then Becca was doing her same old crying, that ugly cry she does. That's an ugly cry, Becca. It's like she's trying to smile through the cry. Just do one or the other. Either do the Chloe smile or do the Becca cry. But when you combine the cry and the smile, that's when it gets bad, Becca. Pick one. Commit to one of them. Either commit to smiling or either commit to crying and just run with it. But the ladies kept pointing out the plot, the narrative that all the men had, through the Heart of the Soul season. They were right. I agree, it was right. But what I don't like is how they responded to it. You see, once you find out a person has a plot or a narrative, then what should be your response? And what these ladies' response was once they figured out the men had a plot or narrative, and they're still doing it now, their plan is to somehow change the plot. Their somehow there is to beg and plead with the men to give us a chance, change your plot. No, once you know someone has a plot, what you should do is you should run, because these people plotted against you. They conspired against you. But instead, what these ladies do is, now we figured out you have a plot. We've done a whole 8 weeks. We're wearing pink on the after party. And then what they decide to do is do a sexy boudoir photo shoot that really kind of just plays into the plot of the men, which is, we don't want you. Who does a sexy photo shoot for people for the eyes of people who don't want you? Oh, good Lord. That was a desperate look. I didn't like it. I don't like it. Be sure in the comments, y'all, let me know, did you like that sexy photo shoot? Did you really like it? And I think the worst part also is Emily still not seeing Claire as the dirty dog she is. When your friend starts texting your other friend's husband and they married, and you don't have nothing to say or do about it, that ain't right, people. That ain't right. Anyway, that's it. That's all I got, y'all. I'll talk to you later. Bye.